What's going on, guys? Kenny here from 619 Guitars and Gear, and today we are going to dive into and check out the Schecter Guitars Danskimo 6. It is the signature guitar of Daniel Haniss from Electric Callboy. Pretty excited to share this one with you guys, so as always, let's get into it. Alright, well, welcome back to another review video. If you're new here, my name's Kenny, and I'm pretty pumped to go over this guitar with you. As I mentioned in the title, it is the Schecter Guitars Danskimo 6, which is the signature guitar of Daniel Haniss from Electric Callboy. I did an unboxing video where the box was absolutely destroyed. I was super nervous to open it. I waited all day just staring at it because I didn't know what I was going to find. So I'll put the link for the unboxing video up here. There was some mixed reviews. Some people saying, oh, you should know better to order from musician's friend. And I guess, yeah, I don't know what I've never done before. So lesson learned, but we're not going to sit here and talk. Let's jump right into the specs because that is exactly why I bought this guitar. So let's go ahead and do it. Alright, so starting at the body, you have a solid swamp ash body. They consider it a flat top with the comfort contours, very similar to a standard Strat body. You have the belly cutout, and then you have the cutout comfort carve for the arm. In the back, the neck heel is a little bit different. It's more rounded off, and then you have a carve out here for when you're up here doing the whittly diddlies. I won't be doing any of that, but other than that, very standard shape to your regular Strat body. Now, this paint job is absolutely wild. It's definitely got a lot more pinkish tint in it than my Kirk Hammett signature guitar, which is a very sparkly purple also. But the quality of this paint job is magnificent. The clear coat is awesome. Not one blemish or crack or scratch or any sanding marks that I can see through the clear coat. It is buffed to perfection, and it looks very good. Moving on to the neck here, you have a bolt-on Wenge neck. Now, that was one of the purchasing points for this guitar. I love the way this Wenge looks. I have never had a guitar with a full-on Wenge neck. I've had guitars with like the Wenge stripes or whatnot, but to have a solid Wenge neck is awesome. From what I've researched, Wenge is a very hard wood and definitely very heavy wood, which we'll talk about the weight of this guitar a little later on. But just the way this neck looks is absolutely awesome. And you have a ebony fretboard. You have 25.5 inch scale. You have 24 extra jumbo stainless steel frets, which I'm super excited about. I just love I love stainless steel frets. And it definitely, on a guitar of this price, with all the rest of the specs, I feel it's expected to have stainless steel frets. For the radius, you have a 12 to 16 compound radius, which is really cool too. You have a dual action truss rod. You have the carbon fiber reinforcement rods in the neck also. For the neck shape, they consider it a C shape, which is yeah, I'd say it's not too fat, not too skinny. Definitely has a similar feel to a regular Strat neck, I'd say. For the inlays, you have the offset silver rings, and then you have the lumen lay side dots, which I absolutely love lumen lay, so that was a plus. And that was something I didn't know it came with. It didn't really mention it in any of the specs, so when I got it, I was super surprised about that, and very happy about it. So the nut, it comes with a Graphtec Extra or XL black Tuscan nut. They consider it. It's 42 millimeters, I believe. So just another thing to add to the specs that I think, yeah, really boosts up the quality of this instrument. Let's move on to hardware. So for the tuners, you have a black Hipshot open gear locking tuner. I absolutely love Hipshot stuff. It's definitely my favorite hardware as far as bridges and tuners. And then they threw on these barrel style tuning keys. I've never had a guitar with those on there, You would think it'd be like a little difficult to tune the string, but it's actually not. It's very easy. Not 100% sure what gear ratio these are. I'll put it up on the screen, but whatever ratio it is, it definitely makes it very easy to tune this guitar. But since you have the Evertune, you're not really doing much tuning up here anyway. You're just using those to get that into stage 2, and then you're doing the rest of the tuning here at the bridge. So that brings me to the Evertune. Now, I know a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with the Evertune. Some people love it, some people hate it. I don't really feel like there's any in between. You either love it or you hate it. There's this conception that, or misconception that people think that you can't do string bends with an Evertune, and that's absolutely false. Though you can set it up to where you bend the string and nothing happens, your note will not change in pitch, which I think is an awesome thing, especially if you're in the studio and you're trying to lay down a riff that doesn't involve any bending. You can set it up so it records nice and crispy, and then if you move the string a little bit, it won't make a difference. But you can absolutely set it up to where when you do string bends, it's just like playing any other guitar. I absolutely love the Evertune. This is my second guitar with it, and I have zero complaints about the Evertune. I think the combination of the Hipshot locking tuners, the Evertune, I've tuned this thing once since I've restrung it, and it hasn't gone out of tune, not even a little bit. So definitely love the Evertune, but like I said, it seems like there's definitely a love-hate relationship with a lot of people. So moving on to electronics, you have the Tosin Abasi Fishman Fluence, and yeah, I've only had Fishman Moderns. I've never had the Tosin Abasi signature pickup from Fishman. Now, they claim that on Voice 1 it's more of a moderate, aggressive tone with a bold mid-range and whatnot, and Voice 2 is more of a passive tone that you would find from a regular passive pickup. I tend to agree with that from what I've found so far, but I really like the way these sound. I definitely think there's definitely a difference between these and the Fishman Moderns. I feel these aren't as gainy as the Moderns are, so I definitely had to dial up my gain a little bit, but they have all the characteristics that you would find with most Fishman pickups. So that's always a plus. And then my favorite thing is you only have one volume. There's no tone knob, no nothing. It's straight one volume with a push-pull for Voice 1 and Voice 2. And that is it. So it's nice and clean. Heck, if I didn't even need a volume and could put like a kill switch in it, I would do that. But the fact that it only has one volume, no tone knob or anything like that is awesome. The fact that it only has a bridge pickup is perfect because I'm only doing chuggy riffs and stuff like that anyway and low tuning. So I don't need a neck pickup and I don't need a tone knob. I don't need a volume for each pickup. So it's nice and clean, and that's the way I like it. But they have this black knob on there with some rubber rings around it. So I think it looks pretty cool. And then other than that, you just have your regular standard output jack plate that is black. You have your strap buttons that are black. And yeah, the specs are 100% why I bought this guitar. I think it has some amazing specs on it. And yeah, let's go ahead and throw this thing on the bench, and we will take the covers off the back and dive into everything and check it out and see what's going on underneath everything. All right, so we got all the screws out of the plate here, the cavity cover for all the Evertune components. Weirdly enough, this is made out of some kind of aluminum or steel, and it's anodized black, so I thought that was pretty cool. So inside this cavity contains all your Evertune components. You have all the tension module. Each saddle is attached to the tension module. They call this a comb, and then this is what they call a foot plate. So there's quite a bit. And then each tension module has the spring. Now this one has chrome springs, so I believe that is the standard tension modules. They have high, low, and standard. The high is probably for more higher, thicker gauge strings. Now what you're supposed to do is, if you want to put it in a lower tuning with thicker strings, you're supposed to use the string gauge calculator, and that determines if you would need a higher or lower tension module. So for this one, it has the chrome ones, like I said, which is standard, and the string gauge that I put on was perfectly fine with this tension module. So yeah, there's quite a bit that goes in here. I really want to buy the templates to install my own Evertune on a guitar. It's something I'm really interested in doing. I've watched videos. It looks fairly easy. Not super easy, but I think I can definitely do it. Practice on a crappy body first, and then install it on something that I think would be awesome with an Evertune. I mean, you can get Evertunes on eBay that are like $280 or $300 compared to on Evertune's website. I think they're like $350. I'm not sure which route I would go, but it's definitely something I've thought about, and there's definitely a lot of components inside here which would explain, would definitely add a little bit of weight to any guitar. All right, so let's check out our electronics cavity here. Obviously not much going on in there. You got your wiring, you have your pot here, which I believe is 25K, same as like the EMGs, push-pull. Yeah, super clean. There's some shielding paint in there. There is shielding tape on the back of the cover. This seems to be plastic, not like the other cavity cover, which is metal. But yeah, you have a pot, your wiring, your pickup, and your output jack. So super simple, and yeah, nice and clean. All right, real quick, we're going to check the relief in the neck. Now, when I got this, it pretty much had zero relief, if not maybe a little bit of back bow. And I have adjusted it since then. I put a little bit of relief in it, not much. There's a tad. Definitely is relief in the neck, but it's not a lot. So where I have it right now between the relief and the action, I think it's playing very, very well. All right, real quick, I'm going to show you where I have my action set. Now, I have restrung this guitar from when I got it, put my own gauge strings on it. I believe it was the Ernie Ball 12 to 61 pack. And yeah, the action came from the factory at about 2 millimeters, and the neck was pretty dang straight. So little to no relief in the neck. So I have it at my typical pretty much 1.50 millimeters, and it's going to gradually drop and end at pretty much 1.25 as we go. In inches, you're at about 0.06, and it's going to end around 0.05 as you get to the thinner strings. All right, so real quick, we're going to do a little bit of a sound demo. We're going to do some high gain and just a little bit of clean. Obviously, we only have a bridge pickup, which I love. And we only have one volume knob with a push-pull. So we'll do voice 1 and voice 2. We are tuned to drop A sharp. I'm going into the interface, and I am using the new Misha Mansour plugin from Neural DSP. I think it sounds pretty dang good. All right, so before we wrap this video up, I figured I'd give you some final thoughts here. Now, obviously, as far as the whole unboxing thing with the box being a mess, I did reach out to Musician's Friend, and they basically said, sorry that they're shipping, the way they ship and pack stuff isn't up to my standards. So instead of getting angry, I kind of just left it at that. The guitar is not damaged in any way. And then, yeah, I mean, this is a super expensive guitar. They retail for $16.99. I don't know if I might have said a different price earlier on, but this particular guitar was supposed to be a return, so I did get it for a little bit cheaper, and it's in absolutely mint condition. The stickers and the tag was still on the knob and everything when I unboxed it. So if it was a return, I don't even know if the person took it out of the box, because it was wrapped up perfectly and there was no fingerprints on anything. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the deal is. I kind of explained what I thought could have been going on with the whole, you know, used guitar thing, selling it as a used guitar. But I paid $13.90 for it plus tax, obviously. And yeah, I'm super happy with this guitar. I don't think there's one thing I don't like about it. The Evertune is awesome. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It has all quality hardware on it. The hip shot locking tuners and the Tozanabashi Fishman pickup. The stainless steel frets. The fret ends are absolutely awesome. The playability is great. I was able to get the action a little bit lower than I usually prefer, and it still plays awesome. The neck is super stable, obviously with the, you know, the Wenge wood and the carbon fiber rods and everything. I mean, why would it not be? So everything about the playability on this is absolutely awesome. Now I will bring you to my one little complaint, and it's not really about, you know, anything on the guitar. It's more so just the overall weight of this guitar. Now with the Wenge neck and the Swamp Ash body, plus all the components that, you know, are on the Evertune, the Evertune's definitely going to add a little bit more weight to a guitar just because there's so much going on back there. But I think all that combined, I have a fish scale that goes to 10 pounds, and it was one of them situations where I hung it and it said error. So it's got to be more than 10 pounds. I have a buddy who plays nothing but, you know, Gibsons and stuff, and he picked it up and he was like, holy crap. And I said, yeah, it's heavy. So Phil McKnight, you would not like this guitar. I know he's very particular about the weight of guitars, but yeah, so is it a big deal to me? Not really. Nowadays, I'm not out playing shows anymore. I'm not, you know, mostly I'm sitting in my studio here, sitting down with the guitar on my lap. I'm not using a strap or anything like that, so the weight isn't too big of a deal to me, but I figured I would point it out to you guys just so you know. Now, I'm curious to go on Sweetwater, and I know, you know, when they have the same model guitar, you can pick between different serial numbers, and some of them might vary in weight. I'm interested to go on there, and maybe I'll take a screenshot of it and put it up on the screen when I edit this, just so you could see, you know, the weights they're saying that this model guitar is and how much they vary, because I'm kind of interested to know. But it is a very solid, heavy guitar, which to me isn't a huge deal. Like I said, just wanted to tell you guys. Other than that, this thing is awesome. I don't plan on getting rid of it or selling it, at least that I know of, anytime soon. I'm totally enjoying my time with this guitar, and yeah, I have zero other complaints about it. Definitely happy with my purchase. But that's basically it, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to keep trying to do videos as much as I can with my work schedule and everything. But yeah, so until the next one, stay safe. Definitely try to stay safe nowadays, because things are a little crazy out there. So stay safe, be a good person, go play your guitar, and we'll see you in the next video.